Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dakota Fundraising News Podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 29th. Today's my mom's birthday. Shout out, Mom, if she's listening. Shout out everyone's mom. Mother's Day is coming up as well. Quickly, just some reminders, some quick housekeeping. We're going to keep doing this every episode until these events pass. You have the Dakota Way Allocator Conference on Monday, May 19th in New York. It'll be very exciting. You'll see both of us there. We're pumped about that. Tons of interviews all day. We're announcing new speakers at all times. There's a handful you can check out on our website, so go look at who is going to be speaking. You're going to be very impressed. Shortly thereafter, we have a number of events that we're hosting that are very, very large. And then we have our typical regional events. So 2 large events we do want to call out. The Berlin Dakota Cocktails now has over 150 people registered. That is going to be kicking off the week of Super Return. That is going to be on Tuesday, June 3rd. And then we are at roughly 125 people registered already for our London event at the Ham Yard Hotel on the 11th of June. I'll be at both of those. Please come and see us. A number of other events to call out. We'll be in Austin, Texas on May 13th. We will be in LA on May 6th, Philadelphia May 21st. That is right before Memorial Day. So you'll see us there. And then I am getting in the car and going to the beach. And then Chicago on June 24th.
Massive sign-up list for the first time out in Berlin. So excited to see how that goes. Why don't we just get into it, Pat? I guess I can kick us off with some job changes to start the agenda. We'll start off with UBS. They've announced that Matt Benson has been appointed as market director for the firm's McLean, Virginia office. This is adding to his existing responsibilities in the state. Benson also leads the firm's Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and Roanoke offices. He's responsible for recruiting, developing advisors in Virginia, and has spent a little over 13 years at UBS. They're first joining out in Weehawken, New Jersey. I'll just keep us going here. Blue Owl, they have added a new principal. That's going to be Stacia Hatfield. Previously was over at Buchanan Street Partners, where she served in an investor relations role there. Apologies for fumbling over my words. And then lastly here, Eric Haley, head of the buyouts team over at Ontario Municipal Employees Retirement System. He announced that he's going to be retiring at the end of the year here. And that's the latest move in reshuffling of the leadership team and the private equity team over at OMERS. I believe we previously called out Michael Graham also announced his retirement from the private equity team there as well.
Yep. Moving over to our RIA M&A activity, we'll start with 2 big ones and then one sort of little spin out. So Raymond James has announced that the Atlanta-based financial advisor Jeff Purdon has joined the firm's advisor channel, coming over from Janney Montgomery, where he managed $110 million in assets. Jeff Purdon was previously connected with firms such as BB&T, Baird, and UBS, and Jeff serves second and third generation high net worth clients in Atlanta with over 30 years of experience. Over in Texas, RBC Wealth Management has recruited the MK Group, which is a 3-member Austin-based advisory team from Merrill Lynch. They managed $500 million in client assets. That is led by Nancy McDonald and Jason Quaha. The M and K are McDonald and Quaha initials, which is fun. They also have a associate, Alexandra Hardcastle, who will be joining the team as well. Finally, Anna Rathbun. If you're not familiar, Anna was the CIO of CBiz Investment Advisory, a very esteemed caliber role. Anna is leaving to start her own RIA. That was reported on April 23rd, just last week. No real name yet, but very exciting, and we'll look to see what she ends up doing in this new role. I imagine it'll be, for high net worth and ultra high net worth clients. That's where she spent most of her time at CBiz since 2020. It'll be very exciting to see that. Previously, before CBiz, she was a managing director at Clearstead for 5 years.
Nice. Back into searches, recording this Monday morning. We did just send out this search alert, international equities RFP from the $3.3 billion Oklahoma Police Pension Retirement System. If you didn't get that alert, you can sign up on our website, dakota.com, for all of our search email alerts. They issued an all-cap core non-U.S. equity RFP. Deadline for this one is May 23rd, so right around Memorial Weekend. Their consultant for this is Asset Consulting Group. Just for a little bit of additional information here, it is desirable but not a minimum requirement that the strategy provides an all-cap core profile. the firm or its principals must have a current Form ADV with the SEC. Just to keep this going as well, Town of Plymouth Retirement System coming out of a recent meeting. No official RFP just yet, but they are planning to issue a value add or opportunistic real estate RFP for a $5 million allocation. And then just going back to Oklahoma, I don't think I called it out, but they're looking to allocate 150 to 225 million to that all cap core equity RFP.
Great. Moving over to investments, City of Baltimore Employees Retirement System actually just restarted the show The Wire, which is unbelievable. They have made a commitment and will be hiring Northern Trust Asset Management to run $40 million in an active, low volatility equity portfolio, which is very exciting. Moving over to the Public Employees Retirement System of Idaho. I haven't talked about this in a while, but it is my favorite state in the United States. We went through that at length in this podcast last year.
Yeah.
They have fixed income manager update. They've approved the motion to hire the following fixed income managers: Baird, Dodge & Cox, and JP Morgan. Baird for the aggregate bond strategy, Dodge & Cox for discretionary core fixed income, and JP Morgan for the core plus bonds. And finally, City of Jacksonville Retirement System. They are jumping for joy after the NFL draft last week, I'm sure, with the Travis Hunter pickup. They have also made a big pickup. They've hired Geneva Capital Management to manage approximately $70 million in active domestic mid-cap growth equity. Treehouse and Hood River were also considered. Man, while I'm here, I'll just keep running through. Merced County Employees Retirement System in San Francisco. Quickly, as a pause, we'll be in San Francisco on the 13th and 14th of May. We aren't hosting an event, but our team will be there. If you're listening, we'd love to meet. I will be there myself. They have, though, that's Merced County Employees Retirement Association, made a commitment to an early stage venture fund. It was a $5 million commitment to Threshold Ventures Fund V.
Nice, Pat. Good to see some equities and fixed income back on the podcast here. Anytime we see that, we wanted to call that out. Let's wrap this up, though. A couple of fundraising updates before we do so. Gaw Capital Partners, they're aiming to raise $2 billion for their 8th investment vehicle under its Gateway Real Estate Fund series. This is going to be Gateway Real Estate Fund VIII, succeeding the Fund VII, which closed back in 2023 with $3 billion in total capital raised. Seventh fund received commitments from State of Wisconsin Investment Board, Illinois TRS. Both of those we called out in our database, Dakota Marketplace, which you can learn more there, of course. Other investors, including sovereign wealth funds, endowments, and other pension funds. Quick update here from Clearlake Capital Group. They have pushed back their closing of Fund VIII to November. They're trying to reach a $15 billion fundraise for this fund. That's Clearlake Capital Partners Fund VIII. And then lastly here, VC firm Kompas VC. They've marked the completion of fundraising for its second investment vehicle with more than around 150 million euro in capital commitments, which comes around to about 170 US. Kompas targets companies developing innovative technology for its manufacturing industry and the built environment. The fund plans to invest in up to 25 businesses.
Cool. I think that wraps it up. This one's nice and easy today. One thing I do just want to quickly call out, last week on the podcast, we talked about Yale selling a number of their private equity stakes in reported secondaries deals. Harvard announced this morning they will be looking to do the same. So that is a trend that we're going to keep tracking. If you want to learn more about that, we did discuss the Yale sale, and we will be discussing the Harvard sale on the Dakota Research podcast. You can find the Dakota Research podcast on the same feed that you are listening to this podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. A lot of exciting things going on in the industry, a lot of events coming up. We hope everyone has a great week. And again, if she's listening, happy birthday, Mom.
Thanks, guys.